moment where it is not there, you are claiming all the glory and saying that it is pretending it is there, imitating the real thing, Instead of time for mourning the dead, we rather, like jubilating the dead. And what is dead is dead. But if he is still alive, then the life, if he was still alive or he was still there, walking with us, then there is a greater chance that he will achieve the aim that he was meant to achieve. It would have been a greater chance to see that he was going to be victorious. He will win the war that he was in to win. A military commander dies, and the whole war is ended. Unless somebody else take over, the war is ended. His whole followers will be crushed down, or they have to retrieve. In that same situation, but Christianity had to survive in the same manner. Islam had to survive in the same manner. They buried Muhammad somewhere in Mecca and somewhere there, which they go around the place what they call Mecca, the Hajj areas for that reason, And the idea is to believe that he still lives on. He still lives on. He's in heaven. He still lives on, that imagination. Yet, looking at the whole story, the person has been killed. He's been killed and buried. That one man has been killed and buried. But the sadness of, I don't know much of the story about how Muhammad died. I think maybe died by war or died by, I don't know. But with the side of Christianity, he was killed by his own, fellow tribe members or fellow faith believers, giving him for his death. So if you look at the story, then realistically, he shouldn't have, he's dead, so he's achieved his aim. But prophecies are being used to say that, yes, it was meant for him to die, rather. But yes, it was prophesied that you're going to kill him. I believe that's what I think, that it's prophesied that he's going to kill him, and he got killed. That does not mean that he was supposed to die, That does not mean that he was supposed to die. A man lives, and the period that he lives, as long as he lives, shows how the impact that he might bring onto society. But if he dies early, so many things have lost. You've limited his impact, or you've limited the things that he could do. You understand? Because his sorrows were there in so many statements also that gives all the whole story up. You can realize he's saying, if it was possible, do not take me away. And then at some point he said, it is finished. I'm dead. At some point he says, why have you forsaken me, God? That means there was that instinct inside there. There was some hidden thing to tell him that he was not necessarily to die, but he gave in to the will of the people that want him dead. You don't want me around. Because of you, I'm here. You want to kill me? Go ahead, kill me. If that's what makes you happy. And you will see what will come after that. The calamities that will come upon your lives. Just like you ate those apples. You think you kill me, sacrifice me, will save your life. But it will save you from what? If I ever lived on, I would have crushed the enemies and the things that has caused them. And since he died, I believe if I have still hold on to the story, what should I supposed to think now? I'm supposed to think that because he died now, then the empires and the whatever that rules, the difficulties of life, or how things have turned out to be now, is as a result because he could not finish and crashed out all the evil things that was standing against the human society. And after he gone, terrible things happened. Even the Jews, to be instance, have suffered several times, spread all over the world, suffered even currently in the hands of who? Hitler. And all it can be, if this story is really true in the life of the Jewish, it has some relevance. That what if he had lived? Maybe he would have really changed the mindset of the Romans at that time that were ruling the Jewish people, and things would have been better. He would have blended them, because if he died and they even pretended that he lived his life, he was still alive, maybe backed by his spirit was backing them, and in some sense they were able to change the Roman Empire through Constantine, and made it what Roman Church today. and all the Romans, because it's the same Rome at that time that exists today as Roman, that the Roman church we have today. It's the same place, it's the same people, it's the same empire that has been brought all the way down to this moment of, becoming holy, righteous, or religious group. So maybe if he had led, that was his mission, to positively speak before kings and people like that and change their mind and make them do the right thing. And he was in a better position to do it. He was more inspired. He had the intuitions and he understood what he was doing. He was more than any other. He was the right person to do what he had to do. If he is the leader of the thing, rather his life was taken. The people after that had to take up the mantle to pretend and that he was alive, and with jubilation, people get envious of it and suspicious of what, and they follow through and people's heart were caught into it, until at some time people begin to realize that no, this is not what's going on, and they were crushed. I believe they were crushed. That was the moment where Revelation, the story Revelation 2 and 3 begin to reveal that most of those dreamers at that time begin to have visions of message coming from God. I think an angel coming, it's believed to be an angel coming to give a message, God calling them back to their feet to do what they have stopped doing. When you go to Antioch, you go to Galatians, it was giving or calling the names of the groups of, what do you call it? The groups of, what do you call it? Religious churches or groups that were all over. Revelation 2, calling them. And to the angel of the church of Samaria or Semina, he writes a message. Revelation 2, the whole 2 and 3 chapters talks about it. Know your works, tribulation and poverty. He shows you what you do, and he tells you, but you are rich, and you know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are what? Synagogue of Satan. Do not fear any of those things which you are about to suffer. Indeed, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison, revealing all that is going to happen to them and all that, and encouraging them to get back on their feet and do, because most of them were having issues, whether within the church, certain groups, making it impossible for them to progress or to sort of do the work that they were used to do patiently. Even today you have so many negative things in your life when you are trying to do. It's the same manner they were suggesting here that they were going through. And a spiritual inspiration had to come through John when he was in Patmos. He was even put in prison at that time. I think there was Patmos areas and island from the story I'm told. I read myself too. And he was coming up with all these things. The church of Sardis. He wrote to the church of Sardis. It was written to the church of Ephesus. It was also written, so most of the churches were having seminar. Most of the churches, Pergamos, it's on and on, all those churches, And so it's something which was happening to them. The church of Philadelphia, the church of whatever, So if you read Revelation 2-3, they're there. I had my experience on that as well and got confused. So I had to take my time to read those things. But that is the whole thing, that the whole group of people were put into that situation. And as generation comes on, as the generation move on, the things that people have accepted, as a result of all these things, has made us what we are today. The faith has been turned around to something else, and we are not ready to acknowledge it or to see that. That is the problem. It's happening to the Muslim also. They have their own, Muslims have got division. We have the Sina or whatever, Sinai, the Hamidiyya. it's all groups. They have their own personal divisions, which sort of have their own suggestions of how the Quran